What is up, Team Happy and Fit? Thank you so much for joining on a Tuesday. If you've been following Eric and I's journey of moving, we're a little bit settled in, and the number one space that has been put together is my office, which I'm really excited about. I was on a call today, and I want to share some takeaways that I had on this call today, but then I also want to share some Instagram tips that I have for you. I myself get on mastermind calls, and I don't present on those. I am a learner, and every time that I'm on those, I get so many ideas, but then it just really connects me to what's possible. And I want to share this with you. Jamie Fitzpatrick, her husband, was in the top 10 last year. And last year in 2017. And I got to sit with, that was my elite table, was the Fitzpatricks, and then me, really. But so Kim, Jamie's wife, presented on this call today, and it was just really good. She shared a little bit about her story, and I think that this is something that we all need to remind ourselves of, is she said she's so passionate about this because it changed her entire life. It allowed her to find herself again. She found her value of worth again. And she says all she can do every single day is give thanks for this business. And she said her husband actually started before her. And it took her 6 months. She was hesitant. She was not about it. It took her 6 months. He was going. He was doing his thing. And it hit her where she's like, why not me? And that's what she said. And someone asked a question. They do really well. Their goal right now is for her business and team to be 15-star, but then also her husband's. She just hit elite this year. That the elite is the top goal to hit every single year, and usually it takes until December 31st to hit it. But they rewrote it for this year, and you can actually hit it at any point in the year. And so she's already locked it in, which is really phenomenal. And so I'm listening to what she says. Elite is a really big deal. Your team, your leadership, your mentorship, just in general, what you're doing is working. They said, the question was, how did you figure out your niche? They have 2 different niches. She works with women. She said this, are you attracting victims? And she said that when she first started this business, she was attracting victims. People who are about excuses. And so she was getting frustrated that when she started, that people weren't following through because of what she was posting. And I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I think that's kind of the same thing with how I started. And then to now, it's so different. How are you speaking? I'm telling you this. I know this sounds crazy, and I feel like I say this all the time, and then I see it all across social media. Whatever you're putting out there, you're attracting. If you're frustrated about some point in your life and you're talking about it, and that if you're just coming off frustrated, you're only inviting other people in that are going to be frustrated. And then if you're frustrated in your business, that's why. If your team and all this stuff, it's just complainers or people that are not going at the pace that your heart desires, you got to really take a look in and see, how are you speaking to people and how are you speaking on social media? And so she said that when she first started, she was attracting victims. You have to change the tone of your messaging. Melanie Mitro had a podcast. I'll share some more about it, and if Kim can too, I listened to it, about Instagram. But she said your content and what you're putting out there is everything. And I'm going to get a little bit more into that to help you with your content. I think if there's a strength of mine on social media, it's sharing my story. Your niche will start to flow when you start to really think about your messaging. People want to know the solution. They want to know what your solution is. And so I need you to think about this. Melanie Mitro said this in her podcast today. She said that people are posting this, the before and after, and they're like, I'll use my story, I'm down 35 pounds. I feel awesome. I'm crushing it. And she's like, someone's looking at that and they can't relate to you. And I was like, dang. So she's like, what was your struggle? Cupcakes? Did your spouse not support you and you had to figure out when to work out. Did you work out during nap time? How are you making this work in your life? Like, is it really hard for you to get out of bed, or do you make it seem effortless? And I was thinking about that today before I pressed play. I did not want to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. And you want to know how I did it? I just did. And it's so crazy to me. People are like, I wish I had your motivation. I wish I had your motivation. I'm like, I'm not always motivated, but I've created better habits. I've created a system. So what I do is I get energized, ready, and my playlist is kick ass. And as soon as I hit play on my playlist, it's game time. That's my journey, right? That's exactly what I do. And I shared that on Instagram today because I'm like, maybe people think that this is effortless. Maybe people think like, and it's not. Like I'm someone who hated working out. Or, man, dropped 35 pounds, fitting into the smallest clothes ever. And it's like, no, like it was painful to hit play sometimes. When I was teaching, I was so tired. People, even with the business, like it's so crazy because the excuses people use are the excuses I didn't use. I had the same life that some people have as coaches, but I didn't lean on I was tired. I got on freaking calls anyway. As soon as my alarm went off in the morning, I got up anyway. And I think sometimes it can be unrelatable to where I am now. And that was another thing too that Kim said in this call today. She said, when I started doing this full time, I started working out at 10 o'clock, and that doesn't relate to my niche at all. My niche needs to crush it at 4:30 in the morning because they don't have any freaking time. And I was like, whoa, that was a gut check for me because I do have some more flexibility. However, when I started this, the only time it could work was before school or right after school. And let me tell you, after school, I was exhausted. So more than likely, I tried to get it done in the morning. 22-minute hardcore was amazing as a teacher because it's 22 minutes. So I loved when she said that, like what relates to your niche, right? And so that hit me where I was like, dang, I need to really think about that. And then really, who are you posting to? And she said that I have to talk to her hero. She talks to her hero. Meaning if she was that old person that she was before this, she posts as something she needed to see. So she thinks about the person that she used to be and what she would need to see on social media for her to feel motivated, for her to get it done, for her to see potential in this. And who you wished you were. She said, I found me, and you will not be for everybody. And you shouldn't be for everybody. There are going to be people, and you guys are going to find this out if you haven't already, that the excuses you once had, you gave up, and then people you talk to are going to have the excuses that you once had, and they're not going to get over it like you did. I got over my excuses. I got over it. It was too hard. I hate fitness. I don't know what to do, like blah, 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 right? I ended up getting over it, but there are going to be people who will not get over it, and you need to keep on moving. And you need to just keep on going. You're not going to be for everybody. You're going to piss some people off. They're going to feel insecure. More than likely family members and really close friends, to be honest. They're going to be the most judgmental because they're the ones who knew you growing up. And then to see you change is so difficult for them. Or they're living this life that's so predictable and mediocre that what you're doing is a little bit outside the box, that they're a little bit like taken back by that. My mom said, Julianne, why would you post a picture of tampons and Eric on social media? She cannot comprehend it. My mom is a big fan of this, but there's still pieces of this whole journey that she just doesn't understand. And I was like, Mom, like, I just am transparent. What you see is what you get. I don't care what people think. Actually, I care about what certain people think. I do care about what Eric thinks of me. I want him to think that I'm an awesome wife, right? I do care what you guys think of me as a leader, and your opinions to me do matter. But then the people who actually like don't care, yeah, some things that they might say, it might sting, but at the end of the day, their opinion means nothing to me, right? Opinions can sting, but that doesn't mean you have to care about what they actually say, meaning like, if someone says something, it's not going to derail me. right? So my mom just sometimes can't even comprehend, like, why are you putting that out there? I'm like, I'm just going to. There's no other way of just saying it, right? There are going to be people that are going to say what they think, but you have to know your truth and your worth in this. I think that we've become so customized to this way of living that when you go against the grain, people don't really know what to do. And maybe that's what's holding you back. And I hope to speak belief into you tonight if you find yourself struggling, because I really think that if you could just get over this limiting whatever it is, you would do whatever you want to do with this business. That really could be the answer for you. You just have to get over your own self and those excuses and maybe whatever it is that you need. I'm going to speak to some more leaders on this call. When I say leaders, people who've developed their businesses and teams a little bit more. Does that make sense? So there's a wide range of coaches on here. We have someone who is thinking about joining our tribe, and we have newer coaches. We have people who've been in this for a while. We have people that have their own teams. And I think that all this is going to speak to everybody. Kim said this. She said, I don't set out to sell challenge packs. I set out to make connections. So every time she's making or on social media, her number one goal is to make real life connections. And she said, honestly, I do want to work with the people that I get along with, the people that are willing to overcome excuses, the people that I feel good around and they have potential in them. And sometimes when people are dragging their feet or being critical and negative and need convincing, she's like, you're not meant to work with me. She'll say that. Like, she's like, you're just like, I'm not going to pull you along with this. I know what this is going to do for you. And if you're not going to trust me in that, whatever, but I'm going to keep on going. She said that she got back to her one-on-ones to really get to know her coaches. And she asked these questions. What keeps you small? What's keeping you small in life? Like, what is it that's keeping you so small? For GSR, she talks about or even on one-on-one, she says, what's your week goal, month goal, 6 months, 5-year plan? What is that? And then she said, talking about finances is not BS. We don't have to feel yucky about talking about money. I don't know where we have gotten in society that it's like we feel so guilty for making money. You guys get to make an impact while making an income to become less stress-free so you can be more present with the people that you love. Yes to that. Whether you're doing this full-time or part-time, that's not what I'm talking about. It's okay to make money at this if you are changing your life. If you are getting results, if you're feeling more confident, if you are changing your mindset and you can make an income while doing that, I don't think Rachel Hollis is second-guessing her multi-million-dollar business, all because all of us have bought her book and people are a part of her tribe and community. Do you think she second-guesses that? Do you think that she feels a little bit guilty for building a brand and making a difference and impact to a bunch of awesome people? Her book has impacted you, right? Are you guys going to her Made for More movie tomorrow? I don't think she feels guilty about that because of what she puts out there. I was even thinking about that for me. Like, there's so much I put out there every day, that maybe I could be someone that out of all of social media, that they see one positive thing that day. That's exactly how I feel about it. And I just don't want you to feel guilty about that. It's not icky to talk about income. It's not icky to want an income out of this. Just as much as in your job, if you're a nurse, if you're a teacher and you sign that contract, it's just what it is. The only difference with this is that you have to build this on your own, right? There's no contract to sign. It's really based on your own efforts. She said, self-care is number one. My goals cannot be bigger than theirs. She said, sometimes we push emerald so much and people don't even want to go emerald, so stop pushing it. I was like, ooh, that's good. It's good to have people in your corner. She said this that I really want you guys to hear. She said, dang it, please tell me I wrote it down. I'll find it. She said that for people to be in your corner, like, so for example, for going elite or a 2-time elite team, that maybe that's going to give the confidence that the people who helped me with that people will help them with that goal too. Like you guys, whoever got to Diamond, your crew who wanted you to do that, that should give them belief and hope that they'll have a team to help them get to Diamond. And that's so cool, right? Like it's the compound effect. That's why I freaking love all of you, and I freaking love my personally sponsored coaches. Not just in business, but in life. And all I want for them is to realize that they can do the same thing. Like they're so willing to do that with me that I just like hope that they realize that people would do that for them as well, which is so huge. She said when people said it's not working, you're not doing the work. If you're saying it's not working, you're not doing the work. When you're saying that your team isn't going, you're not doing the work. You do it sometimes and then you don't do it. That's just truth. Are you doing your business activity tracker? Are you actually making an effort? Are you doing it every single day? Are you posting every single day? Are you doing your workouts? Are you doing this or that, right? And then she said a lot of people say they want this, but they're not willing to put in the work. That is true. There are so many people who say they want this so bad, and then they pick Netflix. There's people who say they want this so bad, and then they lean on their excuses instead. There are people who say they want this so bad, and then they scroll social media. There are people who say they want this so bad, and then they say, I've tried everything. No, you have not. And she said, resourceful coaches are the most successful. The ones that don't wait for the answer, they go find the answer. She said, I mentor CEOs, not employees. I loved that. She's like, my team, they're not my employees, they're CEOs. Meaning they have to put in the effort. They have to put in the work. They have to be willing to do it. And I think about that a lot because I believe in this so much, and that can only go so far. That all of you and whoever, even myself, I have to put in the work myself, right? In order to do that. She says, before anyone can do a one-on-one, this is more to the coaches that have larger teams. For one-on-one, she asks them 3 questions. What is your current success club? Show me your business activity tracker. And how many conversations are you having? And then she'll be straight up on the one-on-one. She said, you're not having any combos, are you? And she's like, we're getting off this one-on-one. And it looks like you have some invites to do. She's not mean about it. She's just blunt about it. She said, we don't have time to waste time. She has a family, right? I think about all of the one-on-ones that I've gotten on. Please don't, if you have a one-on-one with me, like, this is not like something I like. I'm like, oh, this person, there's no name in my head. But I'm thinking like, how many people and coaches are asking questions, but the one thing that's actually going to move the needle is them having more connections and conversations and invites. And then they're wanting to ask about how to do this one thing that really isn't going to make a difference compared to if they were just to get in their inbox. Made me think. She said, in order to move your business anywhere and in life, and because someone asked, like, what's your favorite personal development to recommend to new coaches? She said, before I would suggest Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect, Slide Edge, something like that, GoPro or anything like that. It's let's get our souls right first. You got to figure out what's going on in your heart and in your head. And for me, How to Stop Feeling Like Shit is probably my favorite book out of the year when it comes to soul searching. Girl Wash Your Face, I know, is one of them. I just love personal development. It's changed my life. It makes me think better, feel better, be better. And it's so crazy to me that we can be so focused on the fitness aspect of things, but your mindset is the one thing that holds you back in life. That should be the thing we work the most. And that might be the thing you do the least, is being really diligent with personal development. Robin Sharma. That's a great podcast. Oprah's Super Soul Sunday is amazing. I really love when you listen to Oprah. She is a constant learner. I feel like she knows everything and has met every human on the planet. And she'll be in the middle of a conversation and she'll be like, whoa, I just had an epiphany. Whoa, I just learned this. And she's always just wanting to know the meaning of life. And it's just so fascinating to hear someone like that who's interviewed literally the most incredible people on the planet is still a constant learner. Super Soul Sunday. And she just came out with a master class. And so I try to listen to hers. It's really good. It's so good. And I tell Kim Meyer this, that Trina does a Q&A on Thursdays for her PS coaches. And when I get on, it's questions such as, what's a challenge pack? It might be questions of how to run a challenge group. I feel like those are all things, they're great questions, and it's a Q&A, so you can ask anything. But I told Kim Meyer, I said, what I listen to when I get on Trina's Q&As is I listen to how Trina coaches. So when you're listening to these podcasts, not only can you just hear the content, but think about how they're talking. So with Oprah, listen to the questions she's asking to go deeper. So it's not just so much the content I'm hearing from these podcasts or in these books. I'm also thinking about it in application of how can I become a better leader, a better person who asks questions. How can I get to know people? How can I make my content deeper and better by simply thinking about these podcasters, authors, mentors of mine, and how they ask questions and how they share things. And that's like another side of it, right? And not only am I being moved by the content, I'm also wanting to see how they deliver it. How can you coach others like the PD coaches you? Yeah. She said consistency is everything. She said when she first started the business, all of her pictures were dark. All of her videos were dark. They were awful. She uses them as examples of what not to do. And I laughed, and she just said but I was consistent. I was consistent every single day about sharing my journey. And consistency wins every single time. Her biggest thing with her community is connection and transparency. She follows up with eight of her challengers a day. She's someone who gets 100 SC. And it's not, she says she has 20 new conversations minimum every single day. And she's been doing that faithfully for 3.5 years. She said every single day, whether it's vacation, the weekend, Super Bowl. She lives in Canada, so I don't know if the Canadians love the Super Bowl, but she said every single day, 20 conversations minimum. But she wants retention, so she checks in with 8 people a day on top of starting 20 new conversations. No, Kim Fitzpatrick is getting 100 Success Club points a month. I think if we can just start overcomplicating this and get to work, it will work. Instead of trying to think about how to do it, you just start doing it. You know what I'm saying? Where maybe your goal, you just set it for 6, you guys, and then you just go and you get really good at that, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go to 10. Shout out to Morgan Brill. She just got her highest. I saw that today. I'm proud of you on the last day. I saw that, and I meant to text you, so I'm glad I can say that right now. But that took work, right? And you said that was your goal, and you did it. Technically, you got 12, right, with Sean? Technically. Oh, no. Yeah, you did. Good job. That's awesome. Anyway, but so you do that. You get really good at that, right? Wash, rinse, repeat. So you don't still get 100, but if you're like, man, I'm always at 2, I'm always at 4, I just want to get to 6. She's not. She's in the top 30. I think her and Jamie are both in the top 30. And she said, my life is so full. Leaders, if you're on here, when people ask you questions, don't just answer it for them. You can go back in the back office. If maybe it's with rank, following rank. You can go in the back office, take a screenshot, be like, hey, can you go check this out? Or this is how you do it. Tell me what you see, or like send me a screenshot when you're done if they're going in their back office. Don't just be someone who answers the question all the time, but help your coaches and team be resourceful. Yeah, I think that's where I wanted to end. She said, I want to work with people who want to change their life. So for those people that you're talking to, are they too obsessed with shopping, too obsessed with Netflix, too obsessed with their excuses, the bars, too obsessed with body bashing, this and that they don't actually want to change their life? They say it because it piques their interest for a second, and then, nah, it's too expensive. I don't think that your health, being on the preventative side, like, I think it's worth everything. I think it is worth everything when you're willing to work on yourself now to help you be more lively, more confident, more connected, more transparent. And then I think my favorite thing, though, is watching other people let go of letting other people run their lives on social media and in life, where they almost get their power back, their voice back, their heart back, their soul back, and realize, you know what, if I want to do something, I'm just going to freaking do it. Even if it's scary, even if I'm uncertain, even if I have no idea, I still would rather see. I think that was a big thing for me as we were, our apartment, today we like turned in the keys, and I looked around and I go, this was our first home in California. And we were so scared. We were so uncertain. We had no idea. And then Eric got his job, and it literally sucked the life out of him. We didn't expect that, right? And it was a really brutal year. And as we were like turning in the keys, I was like, we survived a lot in these 2 years. We've endured a lot in these 2 years. Despite how uncertain, how scary, how full of doubt, how frustrated, how easily and tempting it was to quit and run back to Wisconsin. Literally, Morgan Brill, I have it. It's over here. She sent me this Milwaukee framed, beautiful picture of Milwaukee, and she sent it to me after we had moved because she knew how homesick I was. I literally called everyone, and I just was in tears for so long, so sick about being away, and all I wanted to do was like, I hate it here. I just want to move back. And I leaned in and I didn't quit. And as we were like turning in the keys, I was just like, man, it feels good to follow through and do scary things. Maybe this business was scary it was scary to you before now, right? But look at you now. Do you feel more connected, more excited? Do you have more vision? Like, think about that. Were you really hesitant to do this? Now, how do you feel? A lot has changed, right? It's pretty remarkable and pretty incredible if you ask me. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Instagram. I'm going to drive you guys crazy. One, I'm constantly evolving, constantly learning, trying to get better. And so I might say something 2 months ago, don't hold it against me. I literally get that. They'll be like, but you just, and I'm like, I know, I did say that. You're right. I'm not trying to play into this like I'm an outgoing introvert. I'm trying not to identify as that anymore because I don't want to identify into things that make me less than. In the sense, I don't want to play small anymore. I don't want to be like, but I'm an outgoing introvert. I'm a homebody. I am. But I don't want to become my identity because I can miss out on a lot of life. I prefer to be home. But you know what? I'm going to say yes to more opportunities. I'm going to put myself out there a little bit. I started rock climbing about a month ago, and I got a membership at this rock climbing gym, and it's awesome. And I was so scared. And so I'm just trying not to live in this identity anymore. So anyway, yes, I'm going to share things with you that I did not like before. In fact, you can go find some other Zooms that I've led that told you not to do what I'm about to tell you. I'm evolving, I'm changing, and it's working, right? And so I just want to help you. And I have to be honest with you. Cold inviting is messaging people that you do not know. Do not be scammy or spammy. Don't be these weird people online that make you feel really uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like that, don't be like that. But there's a way to do it and connect with people and be genuine. Does that make sense? And on the same side as that though, not everyone is going to think that you're genuine, and it's not your point to prove. So as we're doing that, your fear, yes, someone might say something to you, but does that make you not genuine by them saying that? No. And I was thinking, it's like, I think it wasn't, I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was Leanne. She's like, Julianne, like, how do you like get past like feeling salesy or this or that? And I was like, because I feel like what I'm offering is, how do you get past the feeling yucky? And I was like, this doesn't feel yucky to me. This right now, our Zoom, our team Happy and Fit, whatever hub you're a part of, this opportunity, these workouts, the personal development, the friendships that I've been exposed to don't feel yucky to me. So if my heart is genuinely just like, you know what, I'm just going to suck it up. And if they're going to mistake what I'm saying, I'm willing to take the hit to connect with someone who gets this and needs this. And so what I'm about to share with you, it might make you feel really uncomfortable. And it has for me. Seriously, my heart was racing. And I was like, I don't know about this. Like, I just feel weird. And then I've been doing it every single day. My Instagram views have been going up the thousands. My profile visits, my stories, the views are going up. Canned responses that are being sent out, and people that I would have never connected with if I would have played it small. Because every mentoring call that I've been on, this is what people are doing that are crushing it, and I do respect their businesses, and I'm like, okay, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I've been playing small. So what I've been doing is every single day, I've been sending out a lot of messages throughout the day to people I do not know, to people I have not started conversation with prior to this, literally just sending them a message. The amount of people that do not respond are a lot, but the ones who do respond are exciting. I am getting traction, but based on the amount I'm sending out, and this is normal, you could look at it and be like, it's not working, but it is. So what I've been doing is I have been really narrowing it down. Who am I? I'm a homebody, right? Couch to coach, that's me. Teacher, wife, no kids. I'm a dog mom. Like, I'm just trying to think about who it is that I am. And these hashtags that describe my life, not generic, not fit wife, right? I'm not trying to find other Beachbody coaches. I'm trying to find a girl that's like me, a California transplant, Wisconsin life, Wisconsin girl, right? I'm trying to find her that's like me. And what I do on those hashtags is I follow those hashtags. And what's really cool is people have been popping up in my newsfeed because I follow all these hashtags. And that's genuinely how I'm finding people a lot quicker versus just going to a hashtag. I do go to hashtags. And what I first do is I look at someone's profile. You can see in 0.5 seconds if they're a Beachbody coach or not. And honestly, everybody who's been messaging me have no idea. They have no idea that I'm a Beachbody coach. It's cool. There's this girl in London, and we've been videoing back and forth. I sent her my coach webinar, all this stuff. She's like, this sounds awesome. I want to keep my own brand and partner with this. Like, it's really neat. And she's like, by chance, like before she saw my webinar, is this like Beachbody or something? She's like, I'm not sure. I was like, that's awesome. If you look at my profile, it's just my life. It's just my life and what I'm sharing. And so what I'm doing is seeing if they're a Beachbody coach. And then I click to see who they're following. If they're following Shanti, Autumn, Shakeology, blah, 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 coach. I'm not like doing that. So if I see, and you can see right away when you click their following, who mutual followers are. So you might have some friends in common. I love it when there's no one in common. Like we are not following any of the same people. However, I do really, really love it when they're following Oprah, when they're following TED Talks, when they're following influential people that I really love, but they're not following anything Beachbody related. I'm like, sweet. They like motivation, right? I don't follow celebrities. I'm not into that. I don't want to be obsessed. Like, Oprah, I guess, is a celebrity, so let's be real. But I want to follow influential people and not insecure people. I think that Instagram is a great space for comparison. I think Instagram is a great space to be not authentic. And so my number one job in fields with Instagram is like, it's hard. It's hard to be authentic on there. Now I feel like people are trying to be super authentic and transparent and show every flaw to find some kind of value with Instagram. I'll get to that in a second. So I see who they're following, and then I send them a message. You can save these. You can put them in your shortcuts. There's actually a way in your phone that if you start typing, your script can pop up. Now, when I say script, it's not, hey, do you want to build a business with me? Like, don't be weird. I literally am like, hey, Sarah. Hey, Maddie. Hey. If their name is not on there, I'll say, hey, but I try to say, hey, like, and say their name. And then I go, hi, I'm Julianne, and I really am loving your Instagram. I love your lifestyle posts. That's what I say, because if you look at my Instagram, it's lifestyle. I want someone who shares their life, right? I can share my scripts with you, but I am actually creating a couple of more that are a little bit different. But I'm just saying, like, my number one mission is to help women get fit in every area of life. I actually mentor women on help them build a business off of self-care. I used to be a teacher, but I do this full time now. You could say, hey, I see that you're a teacher too. Hey, I see that you're a dog mom too. Hey, I see you have a newborn too. That's your connection piece. Does that make sense? My connection piece is I used to be a teacher in Wisconsin. So if I'm speaking, I reach out to a lot of Wisconsin people. So then I go in Milwaukee. And so that's my piece, right? And then I just like, I think they're in the Coach Collaborative, but seriously, don't overthink this. Hey, so-and-so, I came across your profile. I really like it. It's giving me all the feels. I love you're sharing your life. It looks like you're loving life. It looks like, whatever. Your lifestyle posts are amazing. I'm feeling your vibe. And I love working with women, whatever, like all the stuff, and just be like, I'd love to give you more information. So what's really cool is, and then after I do that, I'll like 5 of their posts and then maybe comment on one. And then it takes time at first, but now it's a well-oiled machine. Like, it's just like super easy for me now. And I just do it, and I do it throughout the day. I try to do 10 at a time. Some of you do 20. It's great. I do 10. 10 is a good time for me. I like get up, do my meditations, pray, and then I send out 10 real fast, and then get on with my day, and then another 10. In the car, it's perfect. If Eric's driving, I'll do another 10. When we were moving, I like sat on the couch real quick and did 10. You could do it right before dinner, 10, right before your shower, 10, whatever. I've been trying to do 60 to 70, okay? You can keep it to 30. Like, do you. Don't get overwhelmed by the actual number. Just do something that's consistent. Meaning, don't try it for 3 days and then stop, because you're not going to see anything happen. You need to do this every single day. And oh my gosh, it's not scary anymore. Like it was. And I've even had questions like, is this like an MLM, or you know what I mean? And then what I could do is respond in a video, be like, hey, you know what? It is actually direct selling. I'm assuming you had a bad experience, or you've been getting a lot of spam in your messages. Is that fair to say? And then I'll be like, oh, like, don't mind the mess, I'm moving. And then I would say something like that. Like, I would like connect to that person and them to see my like realness, right? But I would want them to see me on video. And so what I've been doing, my views have been going up. So then it's awesome when they follow me back and they see lifestyle. They don't see selling. They don't see like all this stuff. I'm branding me. I'm branding my life. I'm just talking about things in my life. Talk about what you've struggled with in the past with solutions. Don't talk about Beachbody. Don't brand them. Brand you. And so then literally I'm getting messages and say, hey, I just checked out your profile. I'm liking it. I really like what you stand for. Because then even in my stories, like just sharing a little bit more about me. And then on Mondays, I want to be like, hey, here's 3 facts about me that you might not have known. Or, you know, I want to share more about that and who I am. But it's been really cool because, one, they can't identify that I'm a coach. I'm not tricking them. When I give them more information, I have a webinar that I created that just shares my life with them. I'm branding me as I'm doing that. And then it's connecting with them. And I can share all these resources, but I think the biggest thing that I need to tell you is you can wait all day long for everyone else's resources, or you can just get to work and figure it out. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say that, but sometimes we just try to think like, her script isn't necessarily going to work for you guys. You have to figure out a way to word it. And I was telling Kim Meyer this. I said, this is what you need to pay attention to. Maybe use a couple of them. And you need to find people who are just like you. I see you're a dog mom too. I see you're this or that too. Like whatever, like too. So meaning like we have a connection in life, right? It's very important to say that. But you need to kind of see what is working better for you. And then in an email, so someone says, hey, I would love more information. What I do is write back. I'll be like, sweet. Can you send me your email when you get a chance? And then I'll say, by the way, what do you find is your number one excuse when it comes to getting healthier and happier or whatever? And I say, is it time? Is it money? Do you not know where to start? And then when they share whatever their excuse is, when I send them an email, I already know what objection they're going to have. So then I can handle it before it's technically said, even though they just said it. This is a well-oiled machine for me. It was really scary at first, and I cannot believe that I actually felt scared. I've been doing this for 4 years, and I put myself out there. I share my story, and I think just similarly to what you might be feeling is I didn't want people to take me the wrong way. But then when Leanne said, like, how do you make it not yucky or feel yucky? And I was like, man, I just don't think this is yucky. Yes, we do direct selling, but it's pretty cool when you can help someone lose 50 pounds. And I have. It's pretty cool to help other coaches make $100 a week. And I have. It's pretty awesome to be able to see so much confidence growing with people I work with. And it's true. And so in my email, I used to, back in the day, if someone needed to know more about coaching, we didn't have a lot of resources, but Trina had this webinar. It was about 45 minutes, and that's what I sent to people. I wasn't even in it. And they'd join our team because Trina's so awesome. And it was great. And then I was like, huh. So I literally just made a video, and I just was like, hey, this is me. I'm a Christian. I've lost 35 pounds. I'm married to Eric. I live in California. I just talk about me. And then the next thing, and then I just share about coaching. I just share about our tribe, our community. I talk about what it is that we do, that we have community groups and we help people in life. And I say you don't have to be at your goal weight. In fact, the most relatable coaches are the ones that are just working on themselves. And your number one goal as a coach is to work on yourself. True story, right? We all know how, what a win-win for that, right? That literally coaching requires you to become a better person. And I just share a little bit, our Beachbody's been around for 20 years. Coaching has been around for 10. Yes, it's direct selling, and then I handle the pyramid scheme objection. They're illegal. Pyramid schemes, if you know the real definition, they were shut down by the FCA, right? Is the FCA? They were shut down years ago, and I don't know if it's FCC. I think it's FCA. TSA. Pyramid schemes, when they were operating, it didn't have to do with a product. There was no product. And so for us, everyone's commission is the same. Nothing fluctuates, right? Everyone gets the same commission. People are buying from Beachbody, and Beachbody distributes the money. You get paid for commission, but then also mentoring from Beachbody. You can out-earn, outrank anyone. In fact, I did that a couple of times. I out-earned and outranked, quote unquote, the person above me. And I just handle it. I talk about how you can work this in a busy schedule. I talked about with teaching. And I just shared my heart. I just shared my journey. I talked about why I became a coach. And that's enough, you guys. It's not about the information. It's about how you make people feel. Why did you do this? And I think where we get caught up is we feel like we have to have it all together. And then we deliver it. And then what ends up happening? We don't actually deliver it. We're so focused on trying to say the right things, doing the right things, waiting to create all these things. Where for me, anytime I'm feeling overwhelmed, I just get to work instead of shut down and not take action. So what should you do from this point on? What I think you should do from this point on is from your Instagram, Melanie Mitro has, I know Kim shared this, is she talks about you need to have bright pictures, but the thing is your content does matter. And you can't just be like, oh, crushed it, did this and this. Like, man, I did not want to get out of bed. I have been battling cravings lately. It has been so hard to get my workout done during nap time. My schedule, if you guys are busy, that is your avatar right now. Maybe you're glorifying busy or you're freaking overwhelmed busy. But busy is how you're going to speak to people. Because are you still working out while being busy? Guess what's going to piss you right off? When people say they can't do their workouts because they're busy. And then you're going to get more frustrated and you're going to be like, this is crap. The more you show people how you make this work being busy, guess what will happen for the people who are watching you? They're willing to make it work. If you are a new mom, have a baby, are you making this seem like effortless? No, talk about like my coffee has been cold for hours and didn't even take one sip. Is that a real thing? I'm assuming. I hear like Liz Colburn always talked about that. And be like, I can barely function. I didn't get any sleep. I've got to press play. Show them how they make this work, right? Talk about what is hard for you in this process or what was hard for you in this process. Were you scared to weightlift? Why? You have to figure this out. You have to figure out, because I think for me, I'm like, I feel like we get so into routine and habit that we just don't allow ourselves to be consumed by the excuses, right? But how can you think about, man, like, no, wait, like this, I just do it. I get it done. But who was I years ago? Like, why wouldn't she have done this? And so if you're feeling frustrated with your niche, it's probably because you're making this look way too easy and it's really unrelatable. So just talk about that. So what I want you to do is brighten up your pictures. Talk about a lifestyle. When you look at your Instagram, is it only fitness? Or is it your life? Talk about your life, the different roles in your life. If you feel like you're a boring person, talk about that. Talk about insecurities that you have. Talk about how you struggle with not being where you want to be when you want to be there. Talk about how you struggle with doubt, but don't just make it negative. That's not what I'm saying. Like, don't do a rant. Man, I'm really trying to figure this out. I really struggle with this. Like, I really struggle with that, without getting mad at people or blaming whatever. Like, take ownership in your journey and then talk about that. And in your stories, share your life. I share my workouts, but I also just share like Wyatt all the time. Probably too much Wyatt. I just share like whatever's happening. They get a taste of my personality, right? So I need you to start there. I need you to just share quality content that connects with people. That's going to make someone feel a certain thing. For me, it's the overworked, burnt out teacher, except for she's not in school right now. Summer's about to end. She's actually excited about getting back into routine again. So what kind of messaging do I need to have? Routine. Are some of you teachers being like, oh, snap, that's totally it? Like, yes, like the teacher has gotten completely off track and teaching, it's going to give her routine back. So right now, I need to drill in on my social media how I made this work as a teacher, how this routine helped me become a better teacher, that's going to connect to my avatar so much more, right? So then what I need to do is make sure that I'm doing my workouts early in the morning, because that's going to connect to my avatar. What is your avatar feeling like right now? Why is she not joining you? Why does she keep having, or he have, objections? Where are they feeling stuck in life? What insecurities are they battling? What struggles are they facing? Even now, where are you like craving this? Like, are you wishing your workouts were easier? Like, do you hate your workouts when they start and then you're happy that they're over? Be transparent with that. You don't have to be this like, crushed it, got it done, all this stuff. Did you hate every second of it? Talk about that. You don't need to be perfect. With clean eating, I was thinking about this. Do you guys regret like eating poorly after a while? Like, I was like, okay, Julian, I literally think I've had a sweet every day for like 3 months. I'm like, I need to tone down a notch. This is going to be the compound effect. But I don't feel that way when I eat healthy. I don't like second guess myself and think about my body when I'm fueling it properly. You know what I'm saying? And I need to talk about that. Like, I get more critical in my head when I'm off my game, and I feel unstoppable when I'm on my game. And I kind of just ignore it. I never second guess myself when I'm eating really healthy. I'm not like, well, I feel like crap when I eat healthy. But then when I like go to town on eating something not healthy, I am not feeling the best about myself, including confidence. And I need to talk about that, because what I do is I minimize it and I get back to work. I fix it. But I'm like, my avatar is not fixing it, and she's being corrupted by these thoughts. And I forget that myself. So I need you to think about that. You need to write down, what are your 5 roles? Your Instagram needs to be a lifestyle. Not random, not this or that and this and whatever. It's condensed into 5 to 6 things. If you look at my Instagram, it's a theme. It is a full-blown theme. If you go to my Instagram, it's Eric. It's our journey with no kids. It's our journey with miscarriage, right? My tribe, just like thoughts about my journey, my before and after. Wyatt, I love pizza. Like I love food. So there's food on there. But if you just look at my journey, it's just this like, there's a lot of pizza on my thing. There's always a before and after. There's always Eric. There's something like active with me. There's Wyatt. And the tribe, like this lifestyle. But if you look, that is my journey across the Instagram. There's nothing random on it. Like, it's just my life of that. And I'm proud of that. And then in your stories, you can share more about that. So then going from there, with each role, talk about, or like think about hashtags that go along with that role. I want you to follow those hashtags. You can actually click follow, like following a person. And if you go to following, you can see people or hashtags. I clicked who I'm following. So I clicked my hashtags, it's loading, and I can see all the hashtags that I'm following. So I have God's daughter, okay? That's one that popped up. So I'm gonna click that, bam, that's my avatar. That's who I can go send messages to. Yes, Melanie, we'll post that in the team page for sure. And then what I want you to do is I want you, when you wake up tomorrow, after you do your morning routine, do your morning routine first. Don't get sucked into social media, right? I think it can put you in a weird space. I want us as a team to send out 10 cold invites with our own personalized message and get over your dang self. Get over your dang self. Not everyone is going to respond, and you're going to do it again a couple hours later, and you're going to get over yourself. And then you're going to do it again, because you know what? If you do have to send out 100 and then someone finally responds, you are going to be like, I've got this. What you need to do is just get over yourself, and then you're going to stop saying Instagram's not working for me. I don't know how to use Instagram, and blah, 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 blah. I want you to have greater traction with what this is doing for me. Like, this is honestly working for me. I am having more engagement, more views, more conversations of people I would have never met if I would not have done this. And I don't feel yucky about it because of how I feel about it, especially when they do respond back. That is my opportunity then to show them who I am. When they say, yes, I want more information, I send them a video. I get over myself. And I just say, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Thank you for responding. How is your day going? If you could just drop your email when you get a chance, that would be so great. One video. Then right after that, I'll be like, hey, by the way, can you just let me know what is the top excuse you find yourself making when it comes to bettering yourself? Is it time? Is it money? Or do you just not know what to do sometimes? For me, it was I didn't know what to do. And I share that. I invite them into this process, right? But then they can see me and I'll be like, oh, like, don't mind the mess. And I like say that in my video as well. I'm not just like this like stone cold, like whatever person. I'm like, oh, this is my dog, Wyatt. He's a rescue. And I just like let them know, get in on my personality a little bit. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do is we are going to get off this call and I am going to share my script with you guys. And I want you to think for yourself on this one. What would they want to hear? So I want you to write what your script is and then some hashtags that you are going to follow. And you're going to share that in the team page. And I'm going to help you. We're going to do this. You're going to check in with me tomorrow and you're just going to get over yourself. We're going to have a massive team thing of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, I did that and I'm not a scumbag. I'm actually a very happy, healthy person who loves making an impact. And sometimes I have to get a little bit uncomfortable because I've been sitting around complaining about how this isn't working. And you know what? I just got to get to work. And when I get to work, I get more confident with it. I can tell you I'm feeling really confident about this. And I wasn't a couple of weeks ago. And if you are feeling stuck in your business, can you just trust me? Can you trust me? I know that this is a little bit like, oh, Julianne, we don't do this. You said I'm going to hit end.